I mean, it is so perverse when we have got files submitted. For example, in relation to soldiers C and D, 2 members of the composite platoon, Guinness Force, who came generally on upon the events quite late in the day. The shots that they fired didn't kill anybody, didn't even wound anybody. They submitted files in respect of those soldiers. We asked for a file to be submitted in respect of soldier 019, a member of the mortar platoon, who perjured himself in relation to giving evidence, giving interviews to Praxis, a media company, clearly caught telling perjury. Asked for him to be referred to the DPP there and then, while Mr. MacDonald was still on his feet, cross-examining the soldier. It wasn't a file submitted in respect of him. He was caught cold. There wasn't even a file submitted in respect of the chief puppeteer of the cover-up. Before the Paras had even departed Roswell Street, before they had even left the Bogside, the cover-up had started. And they were caught by way of a shot plot list. The accounts that the soldiers had given their adjutant, Colonel Wilford's number 2, before they even left the Bogside, had rounds being fired through houses, through walls. It was, in the ones who say it would have been laughable. The attempt to cover up was so ham-fisted and so obvious. But there's not even a fake submitted in respect of Soldier 019. But the most stunning thing is that there's not even a file submitted in respect of the person who organised it, who's still alive. They can talk about, well, Colonel Loden's dead, Colonel Wilford's dead, N's dead, O's dead, H's dead, E's dead. Mike Jackson's alive and in good health. He was actually recalled to give evidence to the bloody Sunday inquiry when the full story started, when the truth eventually started to creep out in the later days of the inquiry. So for the PSNA not to even submit the file to the PPS, for the PPS to say, "You're hang on, senior investigating officer, where's Captain Mike Jackson? It's fine. That's got to be the biggest one you're sending me. It doesn't arrive. They don't liaise with us. We only found out last week that Mike Jackson's not even on the list. So when we say that when we really started to get concerned about this was last week, it was in respect of the absence of certain players who should have been front and centre. And they can talk about their lack of resources all they like. They can talk about the lack of funding all they like. But when they haven't got the nuts to see who they should be looking at, what they should be looking at them for, when Madam Finnick had set it all out for them 20 years ago, they only had to follow the closing submissions. The work's half done for them. And there's not even so much as a page sent in about them. That's why we're angry today.
Do you fear that? Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, just can I ask, given you have 2 weeks to the legacy cut-off, what legal options are open now?
We'll be working all weekend, clearly.
Mm-hmm. But what possibilities
well,
are there?
firstly, judicial review is the only thing, it's the only legal remedy that we have had, that we've had to use, as you know yourself.
Yeah.
It's time and time again, take them to court, bring them before the divisional court, lodge a judicial review, argue it and win it. But you know how long that takes.
Yeah.
This has been run down to the wire, effectively. And we must exhaust our options, our legal options, before you can avail of judicial review. It's a remedy of last resort, as you know. So we have to conclude this review process. So he said this, but deliberately run down to the wire to make this as difficult as possible to challenge, but it'll be challenged.
Yeah.
Sarah from UTV.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, looking at families' faces here, it's very obvious your disappointment. When something like this happens, and as you're claiming it's being run down to the wire, personally for the families, what does this do to you?
I think the 21 answer to that. Mike Well, we never know, we may get something. But we're definitely not we weren't disappointed. No, I'm saying that wrong. We weren't surprised at the outcome. But it wasn't nice. So we were here, there's about 20 family members here today, and we're certainly not in a good place at the moment. Because they got away with murder, and they got away with life.
Just answer your question. At the moment, we're in the process of getting one soldier in soldier F. And because of the lies of these people here told, it has stopped us from getting our soldiers into court. It has played a big part. And of course we're disappointed, you know, how could we not be?
Do the families fear that this cut-off date, it's mentioned in the statement, the Legacy Act, that's going to put an end to any sort of recourse to justice?
I think Ciarán has that one, the legal aspect of it.
That's what it's there for. I mean, make no mistake about it. It's there. It's in no way the way that it's just truth recovery, or don't be fooled by it, I'm sure you're not. It's there to ensure that commitments made by certain figures within the Tory party to veterans associations are made good, that we will protect you as we have always protected you, that this bill will it will be enacted. It'll be enacted through Parliament, and by the time the challenges are exhausted, we'll all be in our graves, and our families won't have to worry about it. It's about running it down to the wire. Keep putting the goalposts further. Keep pulling the goalposts further back. Letting the witnesses die off. Having less and less people to serve summonses on, to prosecute, to bring before inquests, to bring before to give evidence in relation to civil actions. I mean, truth recovery only happens in court. It only happens when people are brought there and they're examined by lawyers. It does not work in paper exercises. You see the provision of the Silver Report and other cover-up mechanisms. So it's all about hiding the truth. They lied their way through the conflict, and they've prevaricated their way through the peace. And that's been the way that they perverted the course of justice, and that they covered up the truth. And we're just seeing another extension of that policy.